Today, we are exploring a historical church which features some very unique architecture. Come with us as we explore some of its history and see what's left. This church was built in 1884 and it was designed in a high Victorian Gothic style. The church was built on the grounds of an older church that had been around since 1824 and had started with 50 members. It wouldn't be until 58 years later that they would demolish the church and construct a newer, larger one. Construction of the church, including the massive pipe organ, cost around $57,000 and had been designed by two famous architects of their time who had also designed this undisclosed city's firehouse and city hall.
We're back again doing another Abandoned Explorer. So today we are at somewhere that is so amazing.
The first room we are exploring here is the pastor's personal study. Later on, this would have been used as a classroom of sorts for a community center, and you can see some of the old mathematics books left behind, which I'm sure most of us remember from school growing up. Next, we are heading downstairs to the street level floor, which seems like it was mainly used for storage in the later years after the church closed down. I imagine that when it was still a church, this is where they would have had their Sunday school. And these statues were from the nativity set that they would have set up during Christmas. This would have been a huge space, and you can see it even had a small stage, I'm sure for plays and events that the Sunday school would put on. It seems like this back room would have been used for office spaces, where we found some surprisingly dark artwork being kept. Around the corner, what really sticks out is this old-looking chair. This was most likely a prop used for holiday plays, but it was very antique-looking and throne-like. This sanctuary was made to hold 600 seats and was designed like an amphitheater in a high Victorian Gothic style. This church was built with beautiful cherry wood and crimped iron, with an absolute massive and unique pipe organ.
I've seen it starting to catch on like a little bit more, but this place is untouched. Amazing, there's no graffiti, there's just natural decay. What's in here?
woodwork had still been in such good condition after all the years it's been abandoned, and the piano still sits perfectly in place. The last service for this church had taken place in 1968. The next year it was reopened as a community center for the surrounding neighborhoods and rented out the offices to help sustain costs. The sanctuary would function this way for the next 34 years until 2003, when the community center had moved to a new location, leaving the church vacant again. In 2011, the city tried to sell the property privately, hoping that this would inspire plans to reopen this as a newly improved community center. The problem is that this project has been estimated at over $16 million. You have to take into consideration that this church is 137 years old and needs substantial work. Parts of the church have some pretty bad water damage and there is no heat, so it would need to be completely weatherized before updates could even start. This was a massive arch-pointed stained glass window, just another piece of incredible architecture and craftsmanship in this sanctuary. All of the stained glass had luckily stayed intact and in perfect condition. The project planning board put out the idea that this church could be used as a community center, not only for the neighborhood, but for the city. They would make use of the historic buildings for classes, events, and performances. They had the idea that this could be a cultural hub for the city to bring people together of all different ethnicities to learn and teach. In their plans, they even had the idea of adding a commercial kitchen to offer cooking classes for the community to come together. Over the last few years, talks of the restoration have gone completely silent, and I imagine the impact of COVID-19 virus has not helped the situation. We are now left wondering what will become of this 137-year-old historic church. and my hope is that one day people will get to experience the beauty of this place again. With a hopeful future, we are left to wait and see if these plans will be put into action. Maybe even one day we can return to show the outcome. Thank you everyone for watching, and if you enjoyed, remember to subscribe and let us know what you enjoyed most about this abandoned church.